Hey there folks, Chumpesque here, bringing another audio commentary, and I'm sorry to those who actually hate Orc vs Orc, but we are going to be having another Orc mirror today, and indeed it's going to be another Grubby based Orc mirror today. It's going to be Grubby versus Lynn. I know obviously Orc mirror isn't the most popular matchup, and that's because it's sort of tends to be pretty standard, pretty uninteresting, but I've heard such great things about this that I really was tentative about doing another one, but certainly just based on what I've heard I definitely have to be casting this game, and I do apologise. I'll come back with some many more interesting games as they come out. We're in now day 2 of ESWC, so we're in best of 3s today. Grubby and Lynn have actually both done fantastically well so far. I think yesterday Grubby didn't drop a game out of like 10 or 12 games, something like that. Lynn I think dropped a couple games. Moon went something ridiculous like 16 or 15 and 1 or something crazy. Focus and Rewind, unfortunately, were in the same group, so I think they split a couple games and then Focus dropped a couple games. But certainly all the big players have been doing absolutely fantastically, and we've been seeing some such high quality games here. Obviously, the benefit of being on LAN is just that we see some fantastic micro, and as expected, we're seeing a Blade Master mirror today, I assume. Yeah, we are seeing a Blade Master mirror today. It's such a long rush distance here on Melting Valley that it can be pretty tricky to try and play Farseer, and so as a result you almost always see just Blade Master games here. It's so much trickier to play a Farseer game, and looks like we will just be seeing some standard openings, and I guess since this game was so highly recommended, it's either going to be because there's some innovation or because there's some absolutely tremendous micro, and it wouldn't surprise me if that latter one was the case here, just because it's Grubby versus Lynn, so it's bound to be a pretty standard game. Like, it's pretty hard to go something really innovative versus such an excellent player. Obviously both of these players are truly tremendous, and so we are going to be seeing probably this camp crept out by both players. Obviously, actually, they're slightly different camps. This one has 3 trappers, and this one has just 1 trapper, and then the 2 ice trolls. And so it is actually a bit weird that map's not balanced like that, but it is made up for at this camp here, where there's obviously 4 trappers here, and then this camp there's 2 trolls, 2 trappers. So overall it balances out. I'm never really been sure well, first why the map maker did this, or even which side gives the better advantage, because one takes a bit longer to creep but also gives a bit more experience. So it's a bit of swings and roundabouts. Interestingly, bit of divergence finally being seen here. Lynn keeping his Blade Master to help creep the camp, whereas Grubby moving off, going to probably creep out this Ogre Magi, and I imagine that he'll eventually be doing the same thing himself. Actually, no, it looks like Grubby will be creeping out that Ogre Magi. Instead, he'll be moving off, maybe to creep out Lynn's. Maybe he's going to try and get the creep jack here off of Lynn. Grubby, of course, selling his TP, buying a circlet, and it looks like Lynn's doing the same thing, selling his TP, buying a second circlet. He picked one up at that camp, and Grubby moving in here for the creep jack. Lynn, does he have dust? Lynn does have dust, and so will get off the dust here, does get it, but Grubby's hiding behind the Ogre Magi. Will Lynn be able to see, will Lynn be able to get to that creep? No, it looks like Grubby goes for the double hit, does manage to get it, and gets the dust off as well, so Lynn will be on the defensive here, and Grubby managed to get the kill, get the experience, get level 2, and get a Pendant of Energy, which is going to be a fantastic item for the Shadowhunter second. Grubby meanwhile popping a speed scroll, looks like he wants to just go creep somewhere without Lynn being around, and Lynn meanwhile running into these 2 grunts, but unfortunately Lynn's at too low health to do anything, and Lynn actually noticing this 1 peon here, which was coming in to cancel that self. And so looks like Grubby's going to be creeping out his Ogre Magi as well, needing to use Windwalk just to get that little bit of extra damage off, and we'll be able to get it, and they'll just be able to get away with 24 hit points, and picking up a second Pendant of Energy, so that's going to be plus 300 energy, or plus 300 mana on his Shadowhunter, which is going to be so nice. Obviously, especially in the later game, early game it's not too critical, because you can't really use too much mana. I mean, there's only so many hexes you can cast, and there's going to be one sort of early battle almost certainly between the 2 players when their Shadowhunters are at 0 experience, and then we'll probably see a bit of a lull while both players try and get to level 3. That would certainly be the standard in this situation, and it looks like Lynn's going to put a bit of damage on these grunts, but they will be able to run into the back of the base. Interestingly, Grubby doing what he's been doing all competition really, putting this 3rd burrow right in the back of his base, which has really been nice for him, because it's been your opponent can't cancel as easily. It causes a bit of trouble in that if you ever wanted to get sort of all your peons into burrows, then you couldn't. Then you can't really do that otherwise. But that's rarely the situation, and it means that you can't shoot forward or from the front of your base quite as much, but it's unlikely you're ever going to need more than 8 peons shooting forward, and so hopefully it's not going to make too big a difference, and it's not like you could ever build anything else there anyways. And meanwhile, Lynn going to be creeping out Grubby's Warlord here. Looks like Grubby coming and noticing that Lynn has picked up a Berserker just to creep this out a bit quicker, and actually it's a pretty nice unit anyways in this matchup. Grubby coming in here, will he get the kill in time? No, he doesn't. Just misses out on it, and looks like Lynn has been dusted and will get away, but not after having taken a lot of damage. But he did pick up that potion of invulnerability, which is nice, and Lynn is going to lose this Berserker, and it looks like Grubby is going to be able to pick off a couple of these creeps here. Lynn probably going to come back into the battle. Yeah, he will. He does have enough mana for one more Windwalk after this one, so hopefully for Lynn that Grubby won't think to use a dust here. It's pretty unlikely that he will. And it looks like Grubby is going to get off this kill here. Lynn actually gets the kill, but reveals himself to be there. And so Grubby, no dust, needs to be careful now. Going to try and take this creep, and obviously moving all his grunts so they can all attack at once. And just try and duke out Lynn. And it looks like Grubby does manage to get it. And that was such an important kill for him, because that gets him level 3. And level 3 is so critical. And meanwhile, both players have hit tier 2. Both players going to be getting Shadow Hunters, presumably, as well as one Spirit Lodge with Bestiary. Yeah, but it looks like a perfectly even mirror here. And both players just playing absolutely standardly at this point, and that can be just so important. Just even a small divergence can really cost you. And looks like Grubby going to be sitting around his base, probably going to heal up a bit. Now that he has this level 3 Blade Master, that's going to be absolutely amazing for him, because he's going to be able to do so much harassment, whereas Lynn's level 2 Blade Master won't nearly be able to do as much. He'll have to spend some time leeching experience off that Shadow Hunter, or just to get his Blade Master level 3 before he can really do some harassment of his own. And looks like both sides picking up the standard items. Lynn not picking up a healing potion. I'm not sure if Grubby has either. No. Oh no, Grubby has actually. Yeah, that's very interesting for him. Obviously it's a pretty standard thing to do, but it's on such a large rush distance map, it's pretty tricky. You can see Lynn trying to creep out this camp, but Grubby comes in here with his Blade Master. Will he manage to get the kill? Looks like Grubby does manage to pick up that potion of greater healing, which is very nice for him, and Grubby immediately going again for this Shadow Hunter, who did have to run away before. And Grubby is still coming in with his army. He spent no time creeping and says he's good, but try and take out that Shadow Hunter, getting hexed at the last second. But it looks like Grubby Shadow Hunter comes in, gets the last shot off, and Lynn's Blade Master goes down. So some very, very nice play here by Grubby, who does have one pendant of energy on each hero. So that's just gonna be so nice for his healing later game. And but when he passes that second pendant over, Grubby gonna try and take out this grunt, but Grubby needs to be careful. Pops his greater healing potion just to stay alive and stay in this battle. But I don't think he's gonna get this grunt kill due to some very nifty micro there from Lynn. And looks like Grubby will manage to get a grunt kill though, and or a different grunt kill. And Grubby coming in here with his first raider. Lynn went for ensnare first by the looks of things. So once this raider pops out, he'll immediately be able to get an ensnare off and hopefully chase Grubby out of this battle. And it looks like Grubby actually taking a lot of damage on his Shadow Hunter now. He does still have that potion of healing though, and the Spirit Link coming out now for Lynn, whereas Grubby doesn't have that quite yet, and so that's a bit unfortunate for him. Grubby needs to be careful about the Shadow Hunter coming back out. It is just back out now, and it looks like Grubby needs to get did get his Blade Master out of here, and needs to be careful with the Shadow Hunter. It gets hexed, and will the Blade Master do enough to take it down? Gets one crit off immediately. Grubby should have ensnare just to take out that Blade Master for a bit, but it looks like actually Grubby being forced to fight with no heroes basically, just to allow his Shadow Hunter and his Blade Master to heal up a bit and to get away. And it looks like Lynn is going to come in here, probably try and cancel some of the salves and just try and do a bit more damage. It looks like he has immediately done some damage to that Shadow Hunter, and it looks like he will probably just be satisfied with this one grunt kill. But Grubby coming back in again, playing so aggressively. Grubby finally with Spirit Link, able to keep his heroes alive and gets an amazing surround off on the Shadow Hunter, who is past the invulnerability potion, not using a salve though. I think Lynn's relying to the fact, oh no, it was a greater healing, or it was a greater invulnerability potion. That's gonna last for a while. Looks like Grubby gonna be able to take out a couple of low raiders though, or and once he takes on this one, I imagine he'll be able to turn around and take out this one as well, and that'll be absolutely amazing for Grubby. It's so bad to lose your early raiders, and Grubby still has one raider up with no real threat of it dying. His Blade Master needs to get out of there though, and a Shadow Hunter now really low, and the Lynn Shadow Hunter actually really low as well. Will Lynn manage to get off a hex? No, he doesn't have enough mana, and unfortunately no mana left for Grubby's Shadow Hunter either. And one more ensnare going off there for Grubby. Will he manage to get this kill? Will the ensnare run off in time? No, 12 hit points. That Shadow Hunter might get away, but the grunt actually catches up to him. Lynn unfortunately turned around just for a second to get one one hit, and that was enough time for that grunt to come in and get a second kill on that Shadow Hunter. A really bad start here for Lynn, but that's no fault of his. That's the spectacular micro that we've been seeing from Grubby today. Obviously on land it's just so easy to be able to do, or so much easier to be able to do absolutely spectacular things. It's still not even slightly easy, and still only level 1 on the Shadow Hunter, but it now has 555 maximum mana, and Grubby loses another grunt here, and you have to ask yourself, is it worth getting all those hero kills if you're not going to have really much of an army to back you up? And I think Lynn's actually just been able to stick in this game just because he's had such fantastic unit kills. And looks like Lynn is going to creep out this camp, obviously hoping for a Tome of Experience. He'll just creep out the big Murloc and then move away. And Tome of Experience would be nice, but obviously there are lots of other heroes. Look, oh my god, there's lots of other tomes, but he actually does get a Tome of Experience, which gets him more than a bit into a level 3. And it looks like Grubby gonna have to heal up, and Grubby's still only actually only a bit ahead in experience now after that Tome of Experience drop. And so Grubby gonna go and do some harassment now. We'll need to be careful that Lynn doesn't get too many raiders up, but it looks like Lynn not actually building any units because he's actually food or supply blocks at this point. We'll need to get another that other burrow up. Is Grubby having the same problem? No, it looks like Grubby already at 43 food and putting up a war mill, so Grubby in a pretty strong position at this point, and we'll be able to finish off creeping these camps. Obviously he has these wards. I think